It's my first time being double tagged. Aloha and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. I'm Marilyn, Maya, the baby boomer booktuber, and I've been double tagged for the first time. I'm so excited. But first I wanted to thank those of you who wished me well during my grieving for my beloved dog Chick. It's been a tough week, but as I go through all the things that have happened, I realized that she had been going down for a long time and not living a good quality of life. She wasn't suffering, but I was trying to make it better than it was. So I miss her terribly, but I realized that she was 15 years old and she wasn't really happy. So I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that she's crossed the rainbow bridge, and I still have one beloved pet left, Princessa Jasmine. But thank you everyone who commented and wished me, good things, because I do appreciate that. Today I was double tagged for not by Sandy, but Sandy. This is the original tag created by Miss Sandy Reads a Lot, and I love her so much. We just finished recently a buddy read, and she's the sweetest woman for real, not phony. She is the real deal. And this is her first original tag. So I want to congratulate her for that. And then I was tagged by Gina Steiner, who's also a wonderful booktuber and a wonderful person. And they know each other. They live in the same area. Isn't that great? I wish I did, but I live all the way in Hawaii, so there's not many booktubers here. If there are, let me know. And then I was tagged by the wonderful Jack of Spread Book Joy, and she's from the United Kingdom, outside of London, and I love her so much too. So I had to do this tag, and I'm sort of doing it on the fly. I haven't really gone into many, did a lot of research, but I think I can handle this. Okay, so like I said, Sandy created this books. It's based off the 1001 books you must read before you die list, and the 1000 book countdown. So she's doing a 1001 book countdown from that list, and it's very interesting. So number one is 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? It can be a prize list or a challenge like the Rory Gilmore challenge. I don't know what the Rory Gilmore challenge is. I will look it up later. But I haven't followed lists until I joined BookTube last year. And I would say I follow other people doing lists. But let me just tell you one thing about lists. Lists are very important to me, but it's making my own lists. I've been writing since I was a young child, things that I want to get done. And there's a question in here regarding that. But I don't like to follow anybody's rules. I think that's part of my personality. I'm very stubborn, and I don't like rules at all. Of course, we have to follow certain rules, but yeah. So I look at book lists to find books that I like to read. So that's the only kind of book lists that I love to read books about books that have lists in it, but I want to be the one who picks my list, if that makes sense. And I'm 71, so I can do that. I can do whatever I want up to a point. Okay, 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you currently own, and how many ebooks? I would say that I own about 100 books right now, and it's growing a lot too fast because I don't have a lot of room in my house, and I'm living with 3 people. And I do want to own more physical books, but only books that I want to reread. I'm a big rereader of books. So I would say I have maybe 100 to 150 books. And I looked on my Kindle, which was a gift, a Mother's Day gift this year. And I have like 5 books on my Kindle. I've read about 2 books so far as ebooks. I don't love ebooks yet. I think I would like audio better, but I'm not sure. I've read on audio some Agatha Christie books that are there, and that was fine. But no, I'm not a big e-reader. You know, baby boomers usually aren't, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not the only baby boomer on here, but I am the baby boomer booktuber. Okay, so the next question is 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime? You know, I have to say maybe thousands, maybe 2,000, 3,000 books, but I'm only making an estimation of that. I've read since I was 3 to 4 years old, and I'm 71, so you do the math. I mean, I think this year I read more than 100 books, and in my life I used to read like 200 books a year. So, yeah, I would say I've read a lot of books. So I'm not exaggerating here because at various times of my life I didn't leave the house, and all I did was read books. So, you know, that you have to take that into consideration. Okay, so 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? Do you have a favorite? If you haven't read it, do you want to? I guess everyone said either they've read some books, or they want to. I can't say I want to. I've heard about some the stories in Arabian Nights. One that's famous, and Sherazade, I don't remember her name, but she kept the king from killing her by sort of telling him a never-ending story. Which Scheherazade? Scheherazade. Yeah, Jackson told me it's Scheherazade. Do you know who the king was? Anyway, that reminded me of a story from the Torah, the Bible, which was Esther, who also kept the king interested. I don't know if it was by telling him stories, but she ended up asking for help, which was putting her life in danger. By the way, if anybody didn't know, Esther in the Bible, her name in Hebrew was Hadassah. And I have a granddaughter named Hadassah, and it means gift from God, if anyone is interested in that. Okay, so number 5, 1001 flavors. Food. What is your favorite flavor or food? I used to love ice cream, even though it didn't or doesn't agree with me. And I was kind of boring. I didn't like chocolate ice cream. I liked vanilla or strawberry. In fact, I loved vanilla until I started liking strawberry. And then I realized, which I should have realized before, that I am lactose intolerant. And that's why I used to get sick if I would eat a lot of ice cream. So I don't eat dairy right now. So what do I like now? I have some conditions that prevent me from really going deeply into the foods that I really love. And I'm learning to find different flavors and foods that I love. But if I have to say one food that I was brought up on rice and beans. So I guess I can eat that every day. And I eat rice and beans maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And I also love pasta and beans, or pasta in general. But pasta, I try to limit it because of weight reasons. for maybe once a week, and I make a really good pasta. I love pasta. And I'm not trying to lose weight. It's a weight thing, but it's a health thing. So I have peripheral artery disease, and it's better. And I've been walking a lot of miles a day, and that's coming up soon. So I love food. Yes, I love sweets. Today is United States Thanksgiving, and my daughter, she went elsewhere for Thanksgiving because I wasn't cooking, and so she bought a pie for me, and it's Dutch apple, and it's really weird because my daughter likes wine, but she doesn't like grapes, and I don't like apples, but I love apple pie. So if anybody can tell me what why that is it sugar? It could be, but I don't think so, because grapes have sugar and wine has less sugar. I don't know. But yeah, I love food, and I have favorite flavors and favorite foods, but a lot of them I can't eat. All right, so 6, it's 1,001 pages. Have you read a book that's over 1,001 pages? Is there one that you recommend and is worth the time? I realized that when I was 11, I read Gone with the Wind, and that was over 1,000 pages. I didn't even realize that. Lately, I sort of keep myself away from tomes, but I did read, I did a buddy read with The Lady in White by Wilkie Collins, and I think that was close to 1,000 pages. And I really enjoyed that book a lot. And I read it with Alba from Seriella. And yeah, I need to buddy read tomes. I found that out, or else I'm going to put it down. I guess I'm a little afraid of getting the commitment to a big book. I don't want to DNF a book that I'm enjoying, but there's so many books to read. So I guess that's not a popular answer, but yeah, Les Miserables I read a long time ago, and I loved it, but I don't even know how long it was, and so, someone mentioned it, so I think it's over 1,000 pages. All right, so the next question is, do you have a non-bookish bucket list? What is one thing on the list? I love this question. I've had bucket lists all my life. From much of my life, I haven't been a very wealthy person. I was a single parent, divorced parent, and raising 4 children on my own. But I would write lists of things that I wanted to do. Some of them sounded really out there. And let me tell you, just writing down things makes them possible. And I know there's a lot of quotes, but just making a list of what you want to do will make it more possible to reach that goal than not writing down that goal. I still write down goals. I started with poetry and list making and diaries. Yeah, I started with diaries first. And in my diaries, I would write down things I wanted to do, like, things that were really, people would say out of your league, impossible, but I did them all. I mean, I was just watching Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, telling us all the wonderful things she's done in her, what I call short life. And I've done things that I can't believe I've done. I've seen Broadway shows, many Broadway shows. I've went on the Queen Mary 3 times to Europe. And this is all without having a lot of money. And I'll tell you my secret. I've traveled since I was very young. I've took all 4 of my children to Europe in the 80s, and we stayed with people through organizations. I've worked in Japan. I've lived in the Philippines. I mean, I can go on and on and on of all the wonderful things I've done with having a disabilities, with having agoraphobia, and without having money. How did I do it? I'll tell you one word: books. Books help me, and writing down things help me. And I still have one thing on my bucket list. I want to go back to Europe with my daughter. I need help to travel now. It's not like I can do what I was 23. I just set off to Europe by myself. I can't do that anymore. But my daughter has never seen Paris, and I just recently saw Paris a few years ago with my partner. So I want to go back and eat all the foods that I'm not allowed to eat in real life. And I just think Paris is a beautiful city. And I want to go a little outside of Paris this time and maybe see something more of France. And I love to learn new languages. And I speak Spanish fairly well. I wouldn't call myself fluent, but I want to travel. I want to travel again. But I have to be careful because, like I said, I have some disabilities that prevent me from just taking off anywhere. So that's one of my on my bucket list was to start a booktube channel, and I did it on my 70th birthday. So I've always had goals, and I really suggest that everyone makes I don't like to call it a bucket list. You know, you kick the bucket, you die. But make a list of things you want to do. And I read books from Barbara Sher. In fact, I reread some books for Nonfiction November. And she makes it seem so possible. And it is. She's helped me too. That was one book that helped me, Wishcraft. Okay, to the next one. 1001 Numbers. Do you have a lucky number? Is there a story behind it? I thought about this, and this is a very strange answer to a lot of people. I used to love the number 4, and I recently found out that 4 is an unlucky number in Asian cultures. But the reason I liked 4 was because I learned my multiplication tables, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. For some reason, that was easy for me. But I have another reason why I liked, and I say liked because I don't want to have anything unlucky happen to me. Not that I really believe it. But anyway, when I was in a lot of pain, physical pain, emotional pain, I would count by 4s. That was a way that I, sort of like a mantra, to forget about bad things and to forget about physical pain. I would go 4, 8, 12s, and it helped. So I guess that's a pretty unusual answer for a lucky number. But that was my lucky number. I guess it wasn't too lucky because I still have arthritis. But anyway, that's the only number I can think of. The next question is 1001 authors. Do you have a favorite author and or genre? Before I joined BookTube, and even to this day, I have to say mysteries. Mystery is my favorite genre of fiction because it helped me so much to forget about any problem or anything that was going on in my life that was unhappy. And I still read mysteries more than any other book. But since I joined BookTube, there's another genre. Oh, and also nonfiction, because that's how I learned things, learned how to reach my goals. Now I have another favorite genre, and I don't know what it's called, but it's more of the comfort books, reading for comfort. One of my favorite comfort authors is Barbara Pym, and the book that I had, Edna O'Brien, which I also read 2 of the stories, The Country Girls, 2 of the 3 stories with Alba. And I really love Irish writing so much that I have to say that Edna O'Brien is going to be a favorite author. Who are my favorite authors? Agatha Christie, Ruth Rendell. These are all mystery writers. Tana French is a more modern mystery writer. And I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm learning and adding to my list every day of favorite writers. So these are some of my favorite writers. And I have to say that even though I have joined BookTube and have, oh, and Jane Austen, don't forget Jane Austen. I found her in my 30s. So I love Jane Austen and the Brontes. So I also read a lot of classical, not a lot, but yeah, classical literature, which is, as Jack said, not a genre, but a category. So yeah, I agree with you, Jack. And 1001 activities. Do you have a favorite outdoor activity? Now Sandy she loves hiking. She's a very outdoorsy person. I'm not an outdoorsy person. I live in Hawaii. I used to love to go to the beach, but now I need help going to the beach. And my partner is not a very outdoorsy person, so I need my daughter to sort of help me into the ocean. But I still do a lot of exercise. I jump on my mini trampoline, and lately I've been walking 2 miles a day. I can't, not every day, but at least 3 times a week. And that, with my severe hip arthritis, that's the most I can walk without severe pain. But it's really helping me. I feel like it's giving me, I'm very tired afterwards, but I also just walk to music. I walk to salsa music because I used to be a dancer. And I like to think of myself now as a other able dancer because I dance still, even with a disability. So yes, that was my activity, dancing. I do yoga. I used to do yoga outside in Hawaii, and I hope to still do that. Hiking is tricky for me, and I've been asking my physical therapists who are real outdoorsy persons. I've asked them what was, the easiest, paved hikes in Hawaii. So I have some ideas about going hiking, but again, I need help. I need a partner to do that with. Okay, so the next one is 1001 book clubs. Not a prompt, but a question for the comments. Should I start, and that's Sandy talking, a 1001 book club with a book a month for a read-along? I'm not committing myself to anything, but I think you should do it, Sandy, because I think that I will, and many others on BookTube will join in when they find a book that they like. So you go for it, girl. All right, 1001 friends. I don't have 1001 friends, but tag some friends. She's going to tag 10 plus 1, but tag how many you would like. I wanted to try to tag people who I think haven't been tagged before, that were on my subscription list and are my friends. So I'm picking Sean, the book maniac. I don't think he's done this tag. I don't know if he does many tags. I've seen him do some tags, I think. And I just, by the way, watched his bite-sized book chat, his last one, and it's wonderful. And I watch every video he does, practically, I watch. And my good friend, cousin at Always Doing, I don't think she's done this tag. She's a wonderful person, and she really is always doing. She's a translator, English, Japanese. She works at a hospital, I think, and she's into medical things. She loves romance, and she's the sweetest person, and she lives in Japan. I lived in Japan, so I just love her. Brian at Bookish, he's just a good person, and I love his channel. Daniel, my friend at Guilty Feet, I don't think he's done this. Janelle, who's another mystery reader as I am, and her channel is Too Fond of Books. She's a very prolific reader of mysteries and other genres, such as classics. She has a library you would not believe. She's the sweetest person and has a wonderful laugh. And check out her channel, please. And then I want to tag Kathy at The Grim Reader. I don't think she's done this tag. I just read her, she recently got her booster shot and she wasn't feeling well, so I'm giving her a plug here. I like her a lot. She's a little bit of an older booktuber like I am. So that's the tag. That's my double tag. So I want to thank everybody for watching my channel, and please like and subscribe. I want to reach more people because I think that I just read a wonderful book that it's called I want to plug this book, even though I'm going to do a review on it or I'm going to add it to my November wrap-up. And it's called Disability Visibility. And I felt so seen in this book. And it's the most wonderful book that I think able-bodied people should read. It has stories. It's a storytelling collection of people who are dealing with the stigma of being differently abled. And it made me cry. It made me really realize that I have a lot of the problems that of being invisible. As an older woman, as a disabled woman, we are thought of as invisible, and especially being disabled. And I talked about this before, but when I use my cane, which is now a lot of the time, I'm invisible. I don't want to be invisible. I want to be the baby boomer booktuber and out there with friends and people noticing me. Why not? What's wrong with that? And this book gave me courage. So please read it. It's the author or the editor, her last name is Wong. I can't remember her first name right now, but I'm going to go into plugging this book because I think everyone should read it. So please join me again for another video, and I'll be back soon. I love you all. Aloha.